Hello, guys. Um, I feel I have so much information that I feel if I don't share such information, I feel so guilty within me because I've always talked about Ghana's problems, especially with my friends. We used to discuss about Ghana's problems and all of that, but you know, I I don't want to keep mute any longer. Okay, I just want to air my views, okay, to anyone out there who want to listen. So there are a lot of things that I want to talk about the future of this country, okay. And no, I'm going to be apolitical, okay. I don't have any political affiliation, and I'm not talking for any political party because Buckminster Fuller has always been my um, Buckminster Fuller has always been my role model, and I started reading about Buckminster Fuller since 2010. I've read almost most of his major books. I've read Synergetics, though I've not had inside knowledge. I have some amount of knowledge. Okay, I've read his book Branch of Giants. I've read Critical Path. I've read Operating Manual for Spaceship Earth. I've read No More Secondhand God. Okay, and a lot. Okay, so I've read a lot about Buckminster Fuller, and Buckminster Fuller is an interdisciplinary person. He has a holistic viewpoint, or he has a holistic understanding of how to solve problems because of his interdisciplinary nature of knowledge. Okay, he has so many knowledge in so many disciplines. You'll be marveled when you read Buckminster Fuller's book. You realize that he has knowledge in economics, he has knowledge in sociology, he has knowledge in philosophy, he has knowledge in psychology, he has knowledge in sociology, he has knowledge in geography because he's a cartographer. He developed his own map called the geodesic map. Okay, he has some level of knowledge in geography. He has knowledge in mathematics and geometry. Okay, I'm going to talk about his book Synergetics later, but I want to talk about something important now. So you can see Buckminster Fuller has so much knowledge, okay, from diverse fields. So his approach to, and he has his view about the world. He's a global thinker. He thinks about the world at the global at the with a global point of view, okay. Because I think when we want to solve our local problems, especially here in Ghana, we have to solve our problems locally, but we have to have a generalized view or knowledge. And the only way we can have a generalized view about how to solve problems is when we think holistically. So thinking holistically, but Mr. Fuller, when he thinks holistically, his first he rather looks at the universe. He looks at the universe, the total universe, and he used the universe, the concepts within the universe to solve his local problems. So over here, we can do same. We can use global, how the global phenomenon is like, and we can use that phenomenon to solve our local problems. Okay, so it means we have to think globally. Okay, we have to think globally. So I don't feel I'm the repository of knowledge, okay, because I myself have conducted my own research. Okay, I've read a lot. Okay, I know so much that sometimes um when I listen to most of the radio or TV shows here in Ghana, and they talk about Ghanaian politics, sometimes I feel so sad about this country. And one thing that I want to talk about is that the politicians have taken advantage of our ignorance, okay, as Ghanaians. I'm not insulting anybody, but I feel we have to accept that we have been ignorant. Okay, I have that acceptance, because the only way to escape from ignorance is to accept that you are ignorant. Okay, and the only way to escape from ignorance is when you seek for knowledge. Okay, so yeah, so the politicians have taken us for granted here in Ghana, not only here in Ghana, okay, because Mr. Fuller has always said that politicians all over the world are just taking advantage of the ignorance of the masses, okay, just for their own selfish benefits, okay, or their political benefits, okay. So it's the same for Ghana too, okay. So politicians have taken advantage of our ignorance, and you know, one thing too is that our journalists are not helping us, okay. Most of our journalists here in Ghana, okay, because I feel most of them don't conduct research at the interdisciplinary level, okay, and their knowledge base is skewed to only a discipline, okay. So when they are talking about the economy of Ghana, they don't look at it holistically, okay, and derive some kind of knowledge from other disciplines in order to solve the problem. Okay, so yeah, so the journalists, they need to do research, a lot of research. Okay, there's so much information, and the internet has provided us with so much information that we can access and then make meaningful decisions. Okay, so yeah, so the journalists need to conduct research at an interdisciplinary level. Okay, they need to look at things at a holistic level. Okay, because the only way we can solve problems is when we think holistically about problems. But Mr. Fuller used to say that specialization is not good, to be specialized in a field, because it makes you kind of, you're thinking, you don't think broadly, okay, and since you don't think holistically, it will be difficult for you to solve problems at the global level, okay. So yeah, so one thing I want to talk about is that, anytime I watch morning shows here in Ghana, okay, I see that they don't even bring experts, okay. They bring politicians from both political divide. Ghana, we have two strong political parties, okay. It's not a two-party system, but it's more of like a two-party system, because everything is just skewed to NDC and MPP, okay. So they bring two political experts, okay, from political from their political parties, and then all these two politicians are biased towards their political party, and all they talk about is they refer the opponent about their previous mistakes, okay. They refer them to their previous mistakes, and then they don't even propose solutions, so they just attack each other, and then just look at each other's weak points and then talk about their weak points, okay. And most of them don't even talk about how we can develop this country. They don't talk about how we can implement a development planning, a policy that can depend on that we can develop a development plan for this country, and then each political party has to govern according to the development plan that has been developed, okay. So all they do is they talk about their manifesto, okay. So one person talks about their manifesto, what they've achieved in their manifesto, and then when the other political party also the other political party will also talk about their development, no, about their manifesto, okay, what they've achieved in their manifesto. So you see that and their manifesto, it's not harmonized, because it's more of like, it's not harmonized, it's more of like, each it's independent, everybody's independently um, solving their own problems, okay, and they are not looking at it at a holistic level, where we focus on developing an, a policy, where we have a development plan, okay, like say a 10-year development plan or a 20-year development plan. That's not what they do. They are only biased about their manifestos and all. And I see that's the problem here in Ghana. That's why we are not developing. Yeah, we are not developing, because if you um, if you do a comparative analysis, China, they have a development plan, okay, about what they want to do in the next 20 or 30 years. I even saw them having a development plan on how they can use artificial intelligence to improve their economic and social problems. Okay, so that's the issue. That's the issue. We don't have a development plan. We just like Kwame Nkrumah used to have a development plan. Okay, Kwame Nkrumah used to have a 7-year development plan. Okay, because Kwame Nkrumah wanted to develop this country, and he had a development plan where the main objective of that development plan was to industrialize this country, okay, because the industrial revolution started in Europe in the 18th century. So other nations in Asia and even Russia and all of that were also trying to industrialize the economy. So they were learning from the industrial revolution model that evolved in Europe, and if I am right, and Kwame Nkrumah also wanted to borrow that idea, okay, because Kwame Nkrumah had a communist perspective, just like the Chinese and the Russians. So he wanted to industrialize this country, okay, use that model of industrial revolution to industrialize this country, so that we develop a manufacturing base in Ghana. That's why he developed the Tema Industrial City, okay, and with ports and harbors and all of that, and accommodation for accommodation for workers in these industries, okay. So he wanted to industrialize this country and then transform this country into a developed nation, just like Europe has become developed. Okay, so let me just move on. So when I watch the morning shows, you see these politicians throwing out macroeconomic indicators and telling you, the general public and the journalists, what they've achieved so far with the economy, okay, and that is deceitful, I'm telling you, because these macroeconomic indicators, they just throw out these figures, and they don't even show you how these indicators affect the welfare of the people, okay, in the country. Okay, so they just throw out these macroeconomic figures on we, the people, because they feel we are ignorant, okay. And one problem I have is that we don't have an integrated data management system, an automated data management system, where we can even, with the population census, the data that we've collected is not even what's the word to use? It's not updated, okay. It's not updated. We did a population census years back, and we still have, let's say, if they did a population census 3 years ago and it's 30 million Ghanaians, by even in 3 months or 4 month time, it's not going to be 30 million Ghanaians. The data is going to change. Okay, so they still use those data for their macroeconomic policies, and macroeconomics talk about the economy as a whole. Okay, and the main objective of macroeconomics is to talk about to examine the economy with phenomena such as inflation, price level, rate of economic growth, okay, national income, gross domestic product, and then employment. Okay, so they look at the GDP, okay, the total number of goods and services that we've produced in the country, okay, and they look at it at that level, okay. But you see, when you throw indicators, and those indicators that you have about the economy is not affecting the lives of people, it doesn't make sense. It's meaningless. Okay, so what I want to challenge Ghanaians and journalists to do is that when they throw out those figures, okay, the journalists, or you, the Ghanaians who they feel you are ignorant, you need to show those economists who said they've gone to the university to study economics at the PhD level. Okay, they should tell us what they know about welfare economics. Okay, because I studied economics at secondary school, okay, or senior high school. Okay, I studied at Tema School, and then I also studied economics in UDS, okay, or University for Development Studies. Okay, at the University of Development Studies, I was studying a more integrated course, an interdisciplinary course. Okay, I studied integrated development studies. Okay, though I did not graduate in UDS. Okay, I didn't graduate in UDS. I left there in my second year. So I studied economics under that integrated development studies course. Okay, because there is a department, economics and economics department under the integrated development studies. So I studied economics at the university level. Okay, though I didn't complete that school. Okay, so in school I studied something called welfare economics, and I'm going to give you the definition of welfare economics. Welfare economics is the study of how the allocation, look at this, the allocation of resources and goods affects social welfare. This relates directly to the study of economic efficiency and income distribution, as well as how these factors affect the overall well-being of people in the economy. In practical terms, welfare economics seeks to provide tools to guide public policy to achieve beneficial social and economic outcomes for all society. However, welfare economics is the subjective study that depends heavily on chosen assumptions regarding how welfare can be defined, measured, and compared for individuals and society as a whole. So you see, the economists don't look at welfare. Okay, they don't talk about welfare economics. So I challenge you Ghanaians and you the journalists to challenge the politicians to study welfare economics. If they know about it, then they need to implement that concept in economics, because it is one of the most meaningful concepts in economics so far, because we are looking at the welfare of the people. Okay, you are looking at the welfare. You are looking at the welfare of the people. Okay, so what those economic indicators can affect the welfare of the people, how it can improve their their income levels, okay, how we can distribute these resources, the GDP that we've produced, okay, the GDP that we have, how we are going to allocate those resources for the benefit of the people so that it can transform their lives socially and economically, so that it changes their lifestyle, can change, it increases their standard of living, okay? So that's what welfare economics is talking about. And our politicians don't talk about the welfare of the people. They just throw these economic indicators, macroeconomic indicators. Okay, so that is it. That is it. The politicians are leveraging on our ignorance for their own benefits. So, again, the concept of scarcity in economics itself is problematic. Okay, it's very problematic because, when economics was the discipline economics was established. Okay, at that time, even the Industrial Revolution had not yet started. The economics even evolved. I studied economics, sociology, and stuff like that. And economics evolved during the Industrial Revolution. Okay, where they wanted to go into manufacturing, they needed to process the raw materials. Okay, and make them into finished goods. So they were using tools. Okay, they were inventing tools. That's when inventors evolved. Okay, and they were into manufacturing, mechanical. There were so many mechanical engineers who were developing some kind of manufacturing plants and all of that to process the goods. So economics talks about industrialization, okay, because it started during the Industrial Revolution. Okay, so they needed to produce more goods, okay, in order to increase supply, so that when supply becomes more than demand, the prices of goods fall down. Okay, so that scarcity, the problem of scarcity will be solved. But over the years, that didn't even solve the problem of scarcity. Okay, so economics didn't even how do you call it? Economics didn't factor in previously. It didn't factor in the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, it didn't factor in the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, so the fourth industrial revolution. Let me check the definition. Okay, so the fourth industrial revolution, or V4IR, or Industry 4.0, sorry, conceptualizes rapid change to technology, industries, and societal patterns and processes in the 21st century due to increasing interconnectivity and smart automation. Okay, so you can see that the fourth industrial revolution evolved during the 21st century. Okay, and economics itself evolved during the 18th century, where industrialization, or the first industrial revolution, took place. But now we are in the 21st century, so most of the concepts in economics are now outdated, especially the concept of scarcity in economics is outdated. Okay, it's outdated because it doesn't make sense again. Because now within fourth industrial revolution, okay, let me just read something. As part of this phase of industrial change in the joining of technologies like artificial intelligence, gene editing, to advanced robotics, that blurred the lines between the physical, digital, and biological worlds. So now the world has moved into some kind of automation. Okay, and we are now in the digital world now. Okay, where we are applying so much intelligence. Okay, machines or industrial processes are now integrating some kind of human intelligence in machines, so that the machines can even become more efficient than human beings. Okay, it's not about artificial intelligence is not about taking replacing human beings. No, it's not about replacing human beings. Maybe some people have that kind of mindset, but it's just trying to help us, we humans. Okay, it's trying to help we humans so that we improve upon our productivity. Okay, without we ourselves working. Okay, because economics talks about, these politicians talk about macroeconomic indicators like unemployment. Okay, with the fourth industrial revolution, the problem of unemployment is even solved, because humans don't need to work again. They don't need to work for employment again to earn a living, because now we have machines that can do our work, the work that we're supposed to do. The machines will do it for us and even be more efficient than us. And these machines can even do more with less than we humans can do. Okay, so the productivity level in the industrial revolution, in the fourth industrial revolution, is going to be massive. Okay, and the problem of scarcity will be solved. It's even outdated, because we can produce more with less. Okay, do more with less. But Mr. Fuller even talked about ephemeralization. I want you to go and read about ephemeralization. Okay, and it's a way of using technology to do more with less, using advanced technologies to do more with less. It's about doing more with less. Okay, and even back, Mr. Fuller made reference to Jesus Christ in the Bible. When I read his book, Operating Manual for Species F, he talked about Jesus trying to teach the people ephemeralization, where he used 2 fishes, okay, and 5 loaves, and then he fed thousands of people. It's about doing more with less. So that's what AI, or the fourth industrial revolution, is about, using AI and robotics to do more with less. Okay, so we can produce more, and the problem of scarcity will be off. So we don't need to rely on macroeconomic indicators. Okay, like we don't even need to think about gross domestic product. Okay, trying to figure out how to distribute resources, because these machines can produce so much, okay, in excess, that even the price of the goods can even come to zero. Things must be free, because nobody work with effort to produce those goods. Okay, so the machines can do that for us, and we automate our processes. Okay, and now even with the fourth industrial revolution, there will be IoT. Okay, you can automate your own house. Sometimes you don't need to even open your door. You can just use a remote. You open your door. Okay, you can even on your light with a remote. Okay, you can automate so many things in your house with IoT. So we are getting to that stage. Okay, so the problem of unemployment will be solved in the fourth industrial revolution, because nobody has to work for a living, because the machines will do the work for us, because it's fully automated system that works for us. Okay, so nobody has to work. That's what Mr. Fuller was talking about. That's Mr. Fuller's point of view about about employment. Okay, that unemployment is even outdated. It's that traditional system where people have to work for a living is outdated. It doesn't make sense anymore. Even Mr. Fuller in the 20th century was talking about it, and now we are in the 21st century, where the fourth industrial. Mr. Fuller, even you can see that Mr. Fuller, he was futuristic, because he had foresight, and he knew that the way the world was moving, per the kind of technological advancement and revolution that was taking place, it was eminent that these things are going to happen. The fourth industrial revolution is going to happen. So yeah, so this is I just wanted to enlighten some people who don't know much about what what, I've done a lot of research, and I don't feel I know everything, but I think we have to do more research. Okay, we have to do a lot of research in order to challenge the status quo and then change the way the world is being run. Okay, so this is it. So we have to enlighten ourselves so that the politicians don't take advantage of our ignorance for their benefits, so that we, the masses, suffer. Okay, so we have to also prove to them that we are knowledgeable about what we talk about, and we must challenge them even in our radio stations and in our TV stations, so that we transform this country. Okay, so we change the way things are being done, because I don't see any progress in this country. We are not progressing, we are just retrogressing, and we need to revolutionize the way things are being done in this country. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about, and I hope I shared enough information to people so they can act on what I said. Okay, so take care everyone, and have a good day.